What's up, everybody? This is Matthew Ogle with VYPE Media. Another very special guest here, Coach Tyrone Carter with Cypress Lakes, making history in his second year as head coach with the team. They make the playoffs for the first time in program history. So tell me, Coach, first and foremost, what sparked this? Was this something that the team, it was just a long time coming, it was only a matter of time, or was it something y'all essentially just realized this was a vision y'all realized near the back half of the season, like, hey, if we piece together this win, we got this. What generated something like this to happen?
Well, I got here in January of 2024, and we were in the same position last year, win and get in game, playing meaningful football in November, and we didn't get it done last year. And going into the offseason, all we talked about was finishing and finding a way to make history. Just make history, and our kids have done it all year long. We've had kids break school records and win games that we've never won, beat teams that we've never beaten, and then get down to the last game of the year. And we found a way to get it done against a very good coached Cy Springs team.
Yeah, I mean, you you astounded us in general. Like we before the season started, we knew y'all were going to be good because we had y'all right on the fringes of playoff contention. But I mean, we just assumed, hey, Cy Springs, they got this guy. But essentially, y'all proved everybody wrong. So I hats off to y'all for that in general. But talk about some of the guys that allowed that to happen. You talk about breaking school records. Like, who are the guys, offense, defense, that you have begun to lean on that have really allowed this team to shine through?
I mean, we got a huge senior class. We have over 30 seniors, and as freshmen, they dominated this district and started playing varsity football since their sophomore year. So a lot of kids have been on varsity since sophomore year. But we have guys like C.J. Lewis. C.J. Lewis is the most decorated receiver to ever come through Cypress Lakes. He broke the school record for receiving touchdowns in a career, receiving touchdowns in a season, most yards ever in a career. He's a Tulsa commit. We have Jimmy Alarcon, who's our quarterback, who has the most career passing touchdowns in a season. He actually tied that last game. And then in a career, he's broke the career record. He's broke the total passing yards in a career. He's accounted for over 2,700 yards of offense itself. Done a really, really good job there. On defense, we have DJ Butler, who's led the district in tackles the last couple of years, and he's the all-time leader in tackles, over 200 tackles right now. Through his career, and he had a couple of injuries that kept him off the field a little bit. So he's a really good player for us. And then Nate Davis just had a 105-yard interception return last week against South Springs, which I hadn't check mark it yet, but I'm pretty sure that's the longest interception return in school history that's happened. So Saron Norris, our kicker, is the best kicker in his district. He kicked the 53-yard field goal early in the year, which broke our school record. He's kicked and recovered several onside kicks, and he's one of the best punters in this district. So a lot of good things are going on here at Salt Lakes High School.
That's I mean, I talked to my brother. My brother he is a coach at a school called West Fork, which is in New Caney ISD, but they play Montgomery in that district. And Montgomery, like I say, it's a real luxury for some programs to have a really reliable special teams unit, or really, because it's rare to have like such a good kicker or a punter, and it's something that adds a little dynamic that most teams can't always replicate. But anyways, it sounds like you got all the athletes you need, and I'm glad that they're all hopefully healthy. I think that's another really valuable component at this stage. Tell me, next game going against Magnolia, a very good Magnolia team. What's the message you send to these guys as you get ready, as you gear up for this? You'll play Friday or Saturday?
We play them Friday at 7 p.m. at Magnolia High School.
Okay, so keys to this game.
So, Magnolia's a very well coached football team. Coach Martin does a good job over there. He's been there and the program is established. He's been there 5+ years and this program is established. They hang their hat on defense. They do. They fly around. They're aggressive. They're a physical team. And then offensively, then they have some dudes that can go. They do a very good job of preparing their team and preparing their program and playing in that hard district that they are in over there with all those Klein ISD schools and Tomball schools. Like those kids they played a tough schedule, so they're going to be prepared. For us, we got to find a way to run the football and control the clock, and then defensively we have to rally. We got to play together and rally around and tackle and get them dudes on the ground and be in the right place at the right time. And then the special teams, which is the third part of the game, man, we just have to play sound. Like I said, those dudes are very well coached and they do a good job. So if we find a way to run the football, play great defense, and make some plays in special teams, then the Spartans going to make history again.
Yeah, that'd be tremendous. Honestly, I love seeing history be made. I love seeing new standards be set. So you talk a lot about like coaching. I could see you have put a lot of respect on that. Who have been some of the influential figures in your journey, whether it be coaches or just other athletes? Like what's some of the best advice or best lessons that you've tried to extend to the guys that you have now?
Man, I've been blessed in my life. The coaches had the biggest impact on my life growing up. My head football coach in high school was Brian Irwin, who Brian was one of the best high school coaches that ever come through the state of Texas, won several state championships at Lamarck out here in the Houston area. And then my defensive coordinator, Steve Hill, was also my position coach. That's who he gave me my first job out of college. So I worked for him for several years. And then he made me an offensive coordinator and taught me what it takes to be in this profession. He taught me about professionalism and the standard of what it takes to coach, what it takes to change programs around. And then I worked for Charles Burton, man. Coach Burton, man, kept me calm. I was real fiery, and he always told me to chill out, and he gave me structure and let me know that there's a way to coach every different kid, and to find a way to make it work, even at places that it's never been. After working for Coach Burton, I worked for Coach Hell again, and then I went and worked for Rodney Southern, man. Rodney Southern taught me about winning and structure and, putting things in place and holding kids accountable and winning matters. And then, the last guy I worked for was Cody Semper. Coach Semper was amazing to me, man. He pushed me over the edge and gave me what I needed to be sitting in this seat. So I've had the opportunity to work for great men that have been very successful in this profession and taught me how to do things the right way.
And clearly, it's the results have spoken for themselves. It's something that indicates this is only the beginning for Cy Lakes, regardless of how this week goes. But I do hope it goes well for y'all. Anyways, I really appreciate your time, Coach. It's always a pleasure to not only meet somebody new, but to see a team rally like the way this one has. But anyways, good luck this week, Coach. And I'm really excited to see the future of this program because it really looks like things are trending upwards for y'all. But anyways, appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Go Spartans.
Absolutely.